What is going on YouTube? Fascinating graveyard. Today I am at the Elmwood Cemetery here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today we're going to visit the grave of one of the greatest Western actors of all time. That man, of course, is Randolph Scott. This man has appeared in around 100 movies. This guy was very, very influential in Western movie culture. Almost as great as the Duke himself, some would say. So let's talk a little bit about who Randolph was. Pretty interesting life that he's led. Okay, so check this out. This guy was born January 23rd, 1898, here in North Carolina. And originally, he was born into an upper class family. His dad, believe he worked in textiles. He was a general manager or an overseer of the factories, a higher up job that he had. And so he grew up around not a lot of money, but, you know, he grew up with means, I guess that's what you would say. So during World War I don't know if he got drafted or he joined willingly. Doesn't matter. He is a World War I vet. He spent a few years in France. He was an artillery observer. Very, very dangerous, to say the least. So after he came back from France in 1919, he decided to go to school down in Georgia. He was very, very good at sports, and he wanted to be a football player, and something happened along the lines and he hurt his back, so he had to give up the dream of playing professional football. So after he got hurt, he left Georgia. That's where he was going to school at the time. He came back up here and he went to the University of North Carolina. He was studying engineering in textiles. An engineering degree working with textiles. And I guess one day he just decided to quit school. He wanted to be an actor, and you know, his dad knew some people, and I guess one of his associates or friends, whatever you want to call it, was Howard Hughes. So his dad mailed Howard Hughes a letter, said, hey, my son wants to be an actor, you know, can you kind of get him some bit parts? So he's like, yeah, bring him over. So he went to Hollywood. So 1928, he started in some really small films, just playing in the background, nothing to write home and tell mom and dad about. But hey, that's a pretty big deal. You go to Hollywood even though you know somebody, but still, he made it out on his own. And he would play bit parts here and there. And in 1932, he was playing on a play on Hollywood Boulevard at the Vine Theater, and some scouts seen him from a movie studio, and they offered him a 7-year contract at $400 a week. Now, I don't know if he thought that was good money, considering his family, they were pretty well off somewhat. But he signed a contract and he played in several different movies. His first big movie was Heritage of the Desert. That would be his first leading role in the movie. And after that, he was in Murders in the Zoo. He started with Mae West in 1936 in Go West, Young Man. And later on in the 50s, he starred in Man in the Saddle. He starred in, and this movie was in 3D, The Stranger Wore a Gun. And of course, The Walking Hill. I'm not personally into Western movies, but what made me impressed about his life was that this guy was a very shrewd businessman. Many of you may not know this, but this guy, at one point in his life, was worth over $100 million. I did not know that. That's what made me want to come visit his grave, is just that, wow, I never heard of him. You know, I'm not one in particular that loves Westerns. My mom likes Westerns, so she probably knows who this guy is because she reads Western books and stuff like that. And that's one thing about my mother I did not know, is that she liked Westerns. So I guess after I make this video, I guess I'll call her and say, hey, do you know who Randolph Scott is? And she said, of course I know who Randolph Scott is, you moron. No, I'm just kidding. My mom wouldn't call me that. But then again, I put nothing past her. put nothing past her. And it took me a little bit of time because it's completely dark out here. And here we are. This is the grave of George Randolph Scott. January 23rd, 1898 to March 2nd, 1987. Beloved husband of Patricia, devoted father of Sandra and Christopher. So Patricia was his second wife from 1936 to 1939. He was married to Marion DuPont of the very wealthy DuPont family. Very, very interesting. And to amass that kind of fortune is, I don't know, I find it quite fascinating. And I know a lot of you out there are big fans of Western movies and books and all this and that. So I wanted to stop by and visit this man's grave before I leave the area. So rest in peace to Randolph Scott, his wife Patricia, and I believe this might possibly be Randolph's sister, Catherine Strother Scott. All right, very good. Okay, guys. I will see you later. I'm out of here. Have a good one. Peace out.